So if you guys haven't seen the new Boss 180Z plow, the Sno-Power, but for Boss now, check up Stanley's video. I don't have access to it, so I can't create a review for you guys or that kind of thing. But if you check out Stanley's YouTube, he'll show you the new 180Z from Boss. So there's two ways to disconnect your plow. One is connecting just the plow, and you can keep the fifth wheel rail mount on, or you can take the plow and the fifth wheel rail mount on. That's usually on the end of the season where you're going to do that. But if you need to use your hitch, then you're going to need to take the whole thing off. So let's show you both ways to take this plow off. Okay, first way to take it off is during the season, usually people just take the back plow off and leave the fifth wheel rail mount on. So you're going to pull the pins right here, put your plow down so that it's relieving pressure off the pins. You'll find that sweet spot once the pins want to come out. I have an extra step here. I need a jack stand sometimes to get my plow level. I'm on an unlevel surface, so sometimes I need a jack stand to get the pins in or out. So those pins are fully out. Now you're going to lower the plow and you're going to see the plow drop. Basically what I'm trying to do is the fifth wheel rail mount, there's a bar here. I'm just trying to make it so that when I'm backing or pulling forward, the plow is going to come off. Make sure your electrical is connected off. Just take it slow and then it should come right off. So basically what's happening is this piece right here slides through here on the back, this piece, and this is where this bottom hole goes through and connects your plow. So it's sitting right up here, right on this. So once you line it up, it's really easy to take off. That's the opposite for putting it back on, is back up. Make sure your pins are in the out position. Put your plow all the way up. Pins should go through and you should be good to go. So that's one way to disconnect the plow, just the plow itself. So let's show you, hook it back up, show you the other way. Taking the fifth wheel mount off with the plow, kind of more off-season use. So a lot of times when you're storing it, you're just having to raise the plow, line it up with the back of your plow mount, then just back it up. If you have any difference between coming straight back, there's some side pieces that curve out that will align your plow and move your plow to fit on the mount. But try to hit it as perfect as you can. All right, so I took it slow. I knew I was a little high, so come down a little bit. Should be sitting great. So we'll just back it up the rest of the way up. Sounded like a solid connection. Looks good on the side. Other side's up. Go all the way up. So these pins, when I let go, they won't go through, but usually when you do this and your plow is set up correctly and leveled and your truck's not super high like mine is, when you let that go, that'll pop through. My mount sits on the plow more like that, so when I use the jack, it pushes that back side in and then the pin should go right through. So you can skip this step, but for me, with my plow setup the way it is, my truck sits so high that I have to use the jack stand to get this on. I can use the airbag sometimes on a level surface and it goes right in, but so just like that, both sides go in, make sure they're fully seated correctly. Got to go a little bit more for this other side. There it goes. Pins fully through. Good connection down there, good connection. You can let the jack stand off. Won't need that. And you're ready to go. You can let the pressure off it, everything looks good. Pins are holding. So you don't have to do the jack stand if you don't need it, if you're on a level surface. My specific truck, my specific plow, the way it's set up, with the cutting edges, the way it's set up, I do it this way. So it takes me an extra step. You don't need to do this step if everything works out correctly on your plow. So with removing both the plow and the fifth wheel rail mount, you may need your remote. It's just the wireless remote. You don't have to. If you have a second person, it's a lot easier to have them maneuver the hydraulics, but I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get inside the fifth wheel rail. So with the fifth wheel rail mount, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 connections, and then the fifth one is on the back of the hitch. With the 4, you just want to make sure that these are loose and slide. Sometimes they're not going to want to come out, like this back one has too much pressure on it somewhere. The other 3 are good. This back one does give me a headache just because of the way I set it up. I could probably just loosen this and then they all 4 be correct. So basically, what you want to do is get these disconnected, just like that. They're just a pin and then whatever you call these slide pins that hook inside these. So there's 4 of these, take these out. Make sure you don't lose anything. Just put them to the side, you'll be putting them away most likely in the off season. Alrighty, so if you have a tricky one like I have back here on the driver's side front, use your wireless remote. If you're a single person, if you have another person, they can use the control inside the cab or the wireless remote next to you. So maneuver the plow up or down, and that should come loose. Pull it out. Then you should be good to go up here in the 5th wheel remount. So let's move down, I'll show you the hitch connection. Okay, so basically what most people are doing, they're disconnecting the first pin over here and then leaving the second one in. I like to take both of these out. Once I get this gold middle one out, I slide this metal piece in, and then it's out of the way of this mount right here, and you can put your plow up or down as much as you need. Because my plow sits so high, you'll notice I'm on the second to last hole from the bottom. So when I raise the plow, I actually run out of room with this gold piece right here. So I have to slide this in, and I'll just show you real quick. So once you pull the pin from here and here, both pins, slide this part in so it's out of the way, you have the hand length, and then you should be good to raise the plow. So with the hitch released, as well as the 4 up top, now you can raise the plow. So with my truck specifically, my truck sits a little higher, so when I'm raising this stuff out, it actually stays in because I need to actually use the jack stand down here to actually raise my plow up more. So when I do that, it'll raise these up and out. Alright, so once you raise your plow, they will disconnect from the inside. Then you can pull out and your plow's disconnected. So the biggest thing that I noticed with Stanley's video, they were pulling the hitch piece out with the hitch connected on the back. So I like to disconnect both those pins, pull them out, push that in, and it allows the whole plow itself to come up independently, and then you can drive off once these 5th wheel rail mounts pop up and out of the way, like they are. So when you're reconnecting your plow, the hardest part about it all is not the 5th wheel pins lining up. You can line these up pretty easy. The hardest part is centering that gold pin with this center, with the center bracket in there that actually holds the plows together, the plow to the truck. That's the hardest part to center up. So you can see I'm a little bit left right now. So if I actually use a jack stand and I have the 5th wheel roll mount, if I have these in, I can use the jack stand to put the weight on the jack stand. I can push my plow over just a little bit and it'll line that up a lot easier. They'll pop right in. The easiest way to do this is to do the 5th wheel mount first. So once that's in, put your pins through. If you're a one-man band, then it helps to have the wireless remote on you. I have a back one that won't go in because it just needs to seat properly. So raise and lower the plow to put the pin in. And it should go right in. If you have 2 people, it helps one person have a remote or be inside the cab to do whatever down pressure and up pressure you need to get these pins through. Okay, so with all 4 pins up here connected, let's move down and connect those 2 pins. So if this piece isn't squared, then this gold piece won't go through like that. Once you have that in there, lined up, just put your pins through. They should slide right through. So you're going to do the back one first. The back one's going to just hold it in there. So now that this pin is in, you're going to want to connect this other pin. My plow sits specifically in the second hole from the bottom, so I need to raise and lower the plow to let it line up with this hole on the bottom. Perfect, so slide that pin through. It'll be a little tight sometimes, but it'll go in. If you need help with the hammer, you can. I just tend to raise and lower the plow until it slides through. That's through, put the pin in on the other side. So the great part about these Sno-Powers, yes, there's a downside if you don't have a tailgate anymore, but if you buy any other truck, if you upgrade your truck, downgrade your truck, get any other truck, you can use this plow on any truck. And it's just by loosening these bolts on the side to fit in your 5th wheel rail mount. So Ford, Dodge, Chevy, no matter what it is, you can adjust these bolts and adjust this whole system to fit with the hitch and the 5th wheel rail mount, in the back of your truck, so there's no swapping hitches in the back. Really handy part about having a Sno-Power over any other plow. So I hope this helps you guys out a little bit. There's multiple ways to set up the plow, disconnecting, connecting. This is just the way that I do it. I personally think it's the quickest way for me to get the job done. So you can use it, not use it, do whatever you want, but this is the easiest way to connect the plow and disconnect the plow for me personally. So hopefully this helps you guys out.